Hey everyone, Mano back here for another Destiny 2 news video. Today we're going to be dropping everything that we know about Solstice of Heroes so far. Some new details have come to light, plus there have been quite a few data mining activities that have taken place, so we know quite a bit about this event that is coming on July 30th. Some folks on YouTube may have already covered some of the things that you are going to see here, but there are some insights that I wanted to share with the community, especially for those who watch my videos solely for Destiny 2 content. That being said, I did not data mine this information, and all credit for this belongs to Ginzor and Zavano for finding the text files for the latest patch. Ginzor's Reddit post that I used for this research can be found in the description box below, along with his Twitter account. Please make sure to go follow and support him in his quest for knowledge. I'll also post Javano's Reddit post that he had posted detailing all the steps as well. On with the rest of the video. For those new to the Solstice of Heroes event in Destiny, it is an event that usually precedes a large content drop. The first Solstice of Heroes happened before Forsaken, so it makes sense that we're getting this holiday event in the month before Shadowkeep. Bungie is planning to release most of this information on Thursday, but I'm going to be out of town for the next few days, and I want to make sure that I get this info to the community. As always with data mined materials, things are always subject to change. The Solstice of Heroes is going to start at the weekly reset on July 30th, 2019. With the launch of the Solstice, there will be an additional playing zone called the European Aerial Zone, where many of the main pieces of this event are going to take place. We believe that everyone has actually already seen this area in the trailer for Season of Opulence. While it's an area that looks very similar to the EDZ, you can actually see that in the background there are floating rocks and there are some small changes to buildings in the background. In addition, it looks like there are sparrows, plus there's at least 4 guardians in the picture, so we think that this is going to be at least a 6 guardian match made activity, maybe continuing the idea and the feel of menagerie that we've had in Season of Opulence. In addition to the European Aerial Zone, there will be some major changes to the tower, including the Solstice statue, which with Eva Levante, who was around during the Dawning as well as the Revelry, they will be your main vendors for this event. To start up the Solstice of Heroes, you'll need to talk to Eva Levante as soon as a weekly reset starts up. While the next step is currently classified in the text files, we believe that it has something to do with traveling throughout the solar system and collecting what is called the Drained Armor. This Drained Armor is going to form the foundation of the 2019 Solstice Armor set. Much like the progression in the first Solstice of Heroes, the Drained Armor will be green armor, and what will happen is we will infuse it with light by completing activities for the event, and then it will turn into blue renewed armor. Finally, we will complete more steps and then get legendary Majestic Armor. After you've collected the armor pieces that you need, you'll go back and speak to Eva Levante. At this time, Eva will then reveal that Ikora and some warlocks have somehow created a surprise for the Solstice event, which is then shown to be the reveal of the European Aerial Zone. Your ghost then makes a crack about how many warlocks it takes to make an island float. According to the text files, it says that apparently this area is an excellent place to perform combat drills and meditate. After that, Eva Levante then tells you to go to the statue in the tower courtyard with the Drained Armor and then reforge it by strengthening your connection to the light. In addition to renewing your armor, the other thing to hunt for are the locations of Solstice Packages, which the text files say are sealed packages that contained untold treasure that you can open in the European Aerial Zone. There are also 2 key items that you will need to earn in relation to the Solstice package. First of all is Solstice Key Fragments, which are seeming to be used as a currency in the Solstice of Heroes. These might be a very rare object to find, as the second consumable is actually called a fragment magnet that, according to the text files, attract Solstice Key Fragments at an alarming rate. Use at your own risk. Now, it's possible that finding these fragments might also cause some type of an in-game activity or a hazard or a trap or enemies to spawn up, which is why it says to use it at your own risk. This consumable does say that it will last for 1 hour. If the Solstice packages work very similar to like last year, they have the potential to grant you a chance at emotes, shaders, and possibly one of the armor glows that are used on your Majestic Armor once it is upgraded to that point. This is not necessarily included on the text files, but is taken by context. The armor glows will also be available from the Eververse store, and there are 15 in total. That's 5 armor pieces multiplied by the 3 subclass types of Arc, Solar, and Void. Once you earn a glow on one piece of gear on a character, it will apply to all the other corresponding characters' sets as well. So for example, if you get an Arc glow on your Titan's boots, your Hunter and your Warlocks will also earn them on their boots as well. In addition to those pieces of gear and Solstice packages that you can pick up, there is also a questline described as, quote, the treasure hunt. In addition, there was also a point in the video specifically when the European aerial zone popped up that the narrator described treasure hunts. So we're going to wait to see what that actually is and see if that plays into conjunction with the Solstice of Heroes. As with the last Solstice event, Elemental Orbs are making their return to Destiny 2. Elemental Orbs are used to complete different objectives inside the Solstice of Heroes, and now we have some new information on things from the DATAMINE as well. Just like in the last Solstice of Heroes, Elemental Orbs are going to be making their return. Elemental Orbs are tied to Solar, Void, and Arc energies, and they're only available during the Solstice of Heroes. They're used to empower and infuse light into those armor pieces. According to the text files, there's going to be some significant changes to how these Elemental Orbs work with Solstice of Heroes in 2019. There will apparently be a rotation of elemental energy on some type of time basis, which we believe to be daily resets. One of the text files specifically says for the solar time, solar energies blast through the EAZ, filling the air with the smell of sun-baked earth. There are different text files for each element, Arc, Solar, and Void. On each day, you will receive a boost in elemental orbs of the featured element. So on the solar day, you'll get more solar orbs. Arc day, you'll get more arc orbs. And in addition, there are going to be pieces of your armor that are specifically going to be tied to collecting elemental orbs and completing objectives on those days. The text files also say that when a guardian is empowered with a certain element, they will also release additional waves of energy. It says that you need to equip your elemental subclass and weapons to generate orbs on those specific days. Once you collect those orbs, guardians will then be empowered. Nothing more on that in the text, but it's a very interesting concept. It's possible that it will work in a similar manner to Mayhem, where your specific abilities that are tied to the day regenerate at an increased rate, but this is not confirmed. More on that when Bungie releases the info for Solstice. As for upgrading your armor, here is the complete set of data-mined activities that you will need to complete for this questline. There are a ton of them, so I'm going to paste them in as well so you can read along with me. This will take all of your armor from Drained to Renewed and then finally to Majestic. We'll cover each of those pieces in turn. To boost your chest armor, Hunters, you will need to loot chests in the European aerial zone, collect elemental orbs of any type in any activity, and defeat enemies in the European aerial zone while equipped with a solar subclass. Titans, you'll need to complete adventures, collect solar orbs and strikes, and defeat opposing guardians in the Crucible or Gambit. Warlocks, you'll need to complete adventures, collect arc orbs in the Crucible or Gambit, and unlock Solstice packages. Moving on to the gauntlets. Hunters, you will need to complete playlist strikes, collect solar orbs in Gambit, and unlock Solstice packages. Titans, you'll need to loot chests in the European aerial zone, complete Solstice of Heroes bounties, and defeat enemies in the European aerial zone while equipped with an Arc subclass. Warlocks, you'll need to complete playlist strikes, collect elemental orbs of any type in any activity, and defeat opposing guardians in the Crucible or Gambit. Moving on to class items. Hunters, you'll need to complete adventures, collect arc orbs in any strikes, complete Crucible or Gambit matches. Titans, you'll need to complete playlist strikes, collect elemental orbs of any type in any activity, and complete Crucible or Gambit matches. Warlocks, you'll need to complete public events on Nessus, complete Solstice of Heroes bounties, and complete Crucible or Gambit matches. For the Helmet, Hunters, you'll need to complete runs through the European Aerial Zone, land precision final blows, and defeat fallen combatants. Titans, you will also have to complete runs through the European Aerial Zone, land precision final blows, and defeat hive combatants. Warlocks, guess what? You're going to complete runs through the European Aerial Zone, land precision final blows, and then defeat Cabal combatants. Finally, for our leg armor, Hunters, you are going to complete public events on Nessus, complete Solstice of Heroes bounties, and defeat opposing guardians in the Crucible or Gambit. Titans, you're going to complete public events on Nessus, collect Void Orbs in the Crucible or Gambit, and unlock Solstice Packages. Warlocks, you're going to loot chests in the European Aerial Zone, collect solar orbs in strikes, and defeat enemies in the European Aerial Zone while equipped with a Void subclass. Okay, if you're still with me, you get tons of bonus points because that's a lot. However, that is only the first of 3 large groups of quest lines that you need to do. As soon as you've completed all those quests, specifically for whatever character and armor you're looking for, you'll need to bring your drained suits to the statue for a meditation. At that point, you'll have upgraded your armor to the renewed status, and then you'll need to upgrade your armor even further. Again, you'll need to match your subclasses to the elemental focus on each day to complete challenges. All right, stay with me because here is round 2 of the giant mega quest to take your gear from renewed to majestic. There is going to be more quest lines tied to the different elemental days. So when we get to that point, it may be arc, it may be solar, it may be void. It will depend on what day it is. And I will just say the element of the day for that particular item, but I'll write out all 3 of the elements on the actual card that you'll see in the video. For the chest armor, Hunters, you are going to complete Gambit matches, collect elemental orbs using a matching element of the day subclass, and defeat enemy combatants with void grenades. Titans, you're going to defeat enemies in strike playlists using a subclass that matches the element of the day, loot chests in the European Aerial Zone, and defeat Fallen using a subclass that matches the element of the day. Warlocks, you'll need to complete Gambit matches, complete daily or weekly challenges, and defeat enemy combatants with void weapons. For the gauntlets, Hunters are going to complete heroic public events, collect arc orbs in any strike, and defeat Cabal combatants using a subclass that matches the element of the day. Titans, you're going to complete heroic public events, complete daily or weekly challenges, and defeat mini-bosses in the European Aerial Zone. Warlocks, you're going to complete bounties, collect elemental orbs using a matching element of the day subclass, and as a team defeat opposing guardians in the Crucible or Gambit using solar weapons. Class item, Hunters, you're going to complete patrols in the EDZ, collect elemental orbs of any type in the European Aerial Zone, and defeat mini bosses in the European Aerial Zone. Titans, you're going to complete patrols on Io, collect elemental orbs of any type in the European Aerial Zone, and defeat enemy combatants with solar weapons. Warlocks, you're going to complete patrols on Titan, loot chests in the European Aerial Zone, and land arc super final blows on opposing guardians in the Crucible or Gambit. For the helmet, Hunters, complete bounties, loot chests in the European Aerial Zone, and defeat enemies with arc weapons. Titans, you're going to complete Gambit matches, collect elemental orbs using a matching element of the day subclass, and as a team defeat opposing guardians in the Crucible or Gambit using arc weapons. Warlocks, you're going to defeat enemies in strike playlists using a subclass that matches the element of the day, collect elemental orbs of any type in the European Aerial Zone, and defeat mini bosses in the European Aerial Zone. And finally, for the leg armor, Hunters, you are going to complete daily or weekly challenges, defeat enemies in strike playlists using a subclass that matches the element of the day, and as a team defeat opposing guardians in the Crucible or Gambit using void weapons. Titans, you are going to complete bounties, collect void orbs in any strike, and defeat enemy combatants with solar melee attacks. Warlocks, you're going to complete heroic public events, collect solar orbs in any strike, and defeat hive combatants using a subclass that matches the element of the day. Okay, are you still with me? Are you still with me? We're almost done, I promise. Finally, once you complete the renewed set for your character, you will then return again to the Statue of Heroes to meditate. After this, you will then empower your armor to the Majestic status. After this, to complete the Majestic Armor, you have a final set of challenges, but instead of them being completely mismatched between characters and classes and types and all that other stuff, there's nothing different. You just have 5 big challenges that you need to do. For your chest armor for every class, you will need to complete the dungeon Shattered Throne in the Dreaming City with a fire team of 2 players or fewer. For gauntlets, you'll need to complete playlist strikes with clanmates. For class items, you'll need to defeat challenging combatants throughout the solar system, so that's usually yellow bar or boss enemies. Helmets, you'll need to complete a Prestige Nightfall with a score of 200,000 or better. And finally, leg armor. Reset your Season 7 Valor ranking in the Crucible. So with that, you're all done with your armor. In addition, once you fully complete one set of armor, so say for example you get your Titan or your Warlock or your Hunter completely done, then you'll receive one of the final triumphs that are needed for the 2019 seal. There is a thought that you'll potentially also earn an exotic ship if you level up every character's armor, very similar to last year. Finally, I want to make sure that I mention that in addition, it seems that there are some other challenges that are tied to completing certain strikes, crucible activities, and killing certain enemies. They're folded within many of the text chains, so it's unapparent that they're tied to any certain part of the armor quests. However, if something changes with that, I will keep you apprised and let you know. This armor will be the most powerful armor that exists in the game as far as power level, very similar to last year. However, given the fact that last year all of the Solstice armor was irrelevant as soon as the campaign of Forsaken started, there have been a ton of posts asking Bungie to let us keep using this excellent and great looking armor into the future, but Bungie hasn't put anything out in social media yet. And despite what we've heard from other content creators, we really still don't know how Armor 2.0 will work. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. I don't really have like a super positive feeling about that. I know that Bungie has a habit of sometimes making armor irrelevant just so we can have new stuff to grind for, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's such a cool looking set of armor. I really wish we could continue to keep using it. So that's it, the full rundown of everything we know right now for Solstice of Heroes in 2019. Again, all this information was data mined, so it's subject to change, but we do want to make sure that we give credit to Ginzor and Giovanno, and we want to make sure that we follow them on social media to back them up since they have given us this resource. Check out the description for more information on following them. Thanks again for watching the video. If you are looking for something fun to watch or need help with different activities, make sure you stop on into twitch.tv/manodester777, where our community helps people through raids, exotic missions, Crucible, and more. Make sure to join our great community on Discord, where we have LFG, PC building posts, information about Destiny, and more. The link is in the description. If you did like something in this video, a positive rating is greatly appreciated. Hit that subscribe button and the bell so you're notified for any Destiny content that is on the horizon. Let me know down in the comment section down below if you are planning on doing anything with the Solstice of Heroes. As always, good hunting, Guardians, and we'll see you next time in the universe of Destiny.